Hi, Mark Curran here. It's April 15th, and I want to talk to you today about China, its role in the coronavirus, what's happening, and where we're going. First of all, I want to talk about a book. I've been selling this book on term limits, which is a great book. We're running against Dick Durbin, who's been in Washington, D.C. since 1983. This book right here, The Bully of Asia, is written by Dr. Stephen Mosher, and I talked to Stephen Mosher for a long time today, and he's agreed to help me with my campaign. And Dr. Stephen Mosher is one of the foremost experts on China. He is I'm not going to go through his biography right now, but needless to say, this guy knows what he's talking about. So, in talking with Dr. Mosher and in looking at China, we know a couple things about China. And that is that China has been a rogue actor for a long time. 400 million abortions, forced abortions. Even today, if a single woman gets pregnant, they're forced to have an abortion in China. They've murdered 100 million of their own people. China is an evil, evil nation. It has been for a long time. And yet a third of our goods come from China. We're dependent on a third of the world's goods come from China, potentially. And China, our pharmaceuticals that we're relying on right now are made in China. And this is really a problem because China is not a good actor. And when we talk about the coronavirus, I want to tell you just how bad China's been. So what we know about the coronavirus is it came from a bat in Wuhan out of one of the two laboratories. And we know that there's no bats anywhere near Wuhan. And we know that the media is wrong when they say it was in the wet market, which is the market where you could go buy different types of animals, what have you, because all the witnesses say there's never been a bat there. There's evidence that somebody from one of those two laboratories in Wuhan would travel hundreds of miles, over thousands of miles, into caves and bring bats back to Wuhan. And their purpose in doing that, taking those bats back and trying to get the feces of the bat and the urine of the bat and everything else was arguably to create a bioengineered virus that could be leaked on the world. And we know that the virus came out of Wuhan, and what we believe happened, and there's lots of evidence as to this, and I believe it happened, is that somebody that worked in one of those laboratories was infected with the virus. They didn't know that they were infected. They went on to contaminate a number of people. So right there, arguably a war crime by China. China then finds out what happened long before the rest of the world. And they lock down the military in the Wuhan area, the region, and they don't let any flights out of Wuhan to other countries in China, but they let flights from Wuhan to other parts of the world. So right there, arguably another war crime by China. And China engaged in incredible cover-up with regards to the truth. And we know that the World Health Organization, which President Trump has addressed most recently, lied about what transpired, or maybe they were misinformed, but the World Health Organization, controlled by communist actors, working in tandem with the Chinese government, came out with a spin that was totally wrong. And as a result of that, we suffered. So China, an evil nation, has killed us, and they continue to kill us. So Gip, this is your little thing right here. Do you mind? It says made in China. So let's see if we can get this thing lit. Well, there we go. Do you mind if I get rid of your Chinese gift? You okay with that? Maybe we'll do it later. In any event, China is a rogue actor, and President Trump has understood this long before anyone else. President Trump invoked a travel ban on China. President Trump realizes that they've been stealing our trade secrets, that they've been killing us in unfair trade, that they steal our intellectual property, that they have espionage spies coming into our country to destroy us, that their end game, the end game of the bully of Asia, is to destroy the United States of America. Well, this virus they unleashed on the world is destroying their economy. So be it. We need to get away from China. No president in history has handled this crisis better. No president in history understands it better. And even though I don't look real good in hats, I think we all need to start wearing hats like this to get behind Donald J. Trump, who has done a magnificent job. Thank you, Mr. President. You can support my campaign as well by going to electcurran.com.